Awesome. All right, so we know for sure that when your new recruit comes in this month and puts in their $150, there are 4 breakfast makers in the game. They get 2, you get 2. Now, I don't know if you have one of the breakfast makers. We don't have one of the new ones, but we have one of these. Same thing. And here's the best part about that, okay? If you have one of these, or even if you don't have one yet, you can demo the soup mug and talk about how amazing this breakfast maker is, because it says it's called a breakfast maker. It does so many things. And what I'm going to do right now is we're going to make a pineapple upside down cake in this, and it comes out really cute. I already melted some butter in there, and so we're going to put the brown sugar in, right? And just kind of move it around so that it's all over the bottom there. Makes that great topping, and it is on top of pineapple upside down cakes. Do you like pineapple upside down cake? I never used to. And then I realized it had all the things in it that I really liked. Okay, so it says to take 2 rings of pineapple and put it in. Did not have 2 rings of pineapple. I had a can of pineapple chunks. So for those of you that are like me and need to know these things, 6 of the little pineapple chunks equals 1 ring. So we're gonna put that in there, dry it off, dry that pineapple with a paper towel, okay? Because otherwise it gets too juicy in the cake, and we don't want that, because then it will not set up right. All right, so there you go. 2 pineapple rings. Now, if you have cherries, you put a little maraschino cherry in the middle. Did not have them, was okay with me. I don't like them, so it's all right. Now we're gonna move this right over here, and we're gonna mix the cake. Doesn't take much. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ingredients for this cake. So it's super easy to do on a demo. It's super easy to do if you don't want to show your face. You can just do your hands, okay? But always put your liquid ingredients first, just because it makes it easier to mix. So we've got some milk, vanilla, a little more melted butter. It says oil or butter, but that's not a contest in my book. It's just butter. And then once you get that in there, we're going to take your flour. All right, we're just gonna mix this up like this. And I like to do it a little bit at a time to make sure it all gets in there. You can use a whisk, you can use our amazing spatula, got some regular sugar, a little bit of baking powder. And if you've seen me do grills before, you know that I'm very specific about the difference between baking powder and baking soda. And you only have to mess that up one time to know why there is a big difference. Never used to know. But there it is. And then it says a pinch of salt, which with one of our shakers is kind of like that. So then we just mix it all up. And it seriously comes out cake batter that fast. So then all we have to do now is put it on top of our pineapple. You know what? Oh, will you do me a big favor? Get me a little bit of milk. I don't feel like this is battery enough. So sometimes you have to regroup. And I did double this recipe for this because it was a soup bug recipe. And so I might have, there's a chance that I doubled everything with the milk. That it could. Okay, now I was just going through the refrigerator. So hang on just a minute.
My bad.
And we let her do what she wants. So, you know, don't want to argue with her. I'm just gonna add a little bit of time because I want it to get all messed up. Now, this is the kind of thing that proves to you and to everybody else that you don't have to be perfect when you do these recipes, okay? I didn't have it right. You might as well just own up and go, well, we need to fix it. Yeah, that's better. That looks more like something that's gonna spread out and actually make a cake. So we are gonna do this, right? And our vegetables, you can demo your vegetables while you're doing this. The spatula, depending on where you get your pineapple, you can use your can opener. Measuring cups, measuring spoons. I like to show people how fast and easy these recipes are. So I usually already pre-measure things and just have them in the little minis and snack cups so that they can see if they're going to make a single serving, they don't have to have a whole bunch of ingredients out and make a real big mess. Unless you're me, then I just make a big mess. Okay, I'm gonna put the top on it. Now, this is super important. It's just like anything else. The top of the breakfast maker has holes in it for venting. When you're gonna put it in the microwave, you want to make sure that you're venting whatever is in the microwave that you're cooking, because otherwise the top's gonna pop off. It's easier with this one because the holes are already in it. So we're gonna put it in here. It said about 2 minutes. So I'm gonna do a minute and a half and check it. In the meantime, some of the other things you can use the breakfast maker for, you can steam vegetables, like single or 2 serving vegetables. You can do it in the breakfast maker. You can make a cake. You can do 2 Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. You can make cinnamon rolls. Let's see, what else? There's omelets, of course. The breakfast maker is going to come with the little cups, so you can do poached eggs. You can do scrambled eggs. You can do French toast. You can do pancakes, all right? All the things. And if, like, when you get 2, all right, you can use one and sell one, or you can use one and give it as a gift. But I had a daughter that had 3 kids, and they used to do their pre-made breakfast the night before school. And then they'd get up in the morning and then they'd take turns throwing them in the microwave for like a minute and a half at a time. And they could eat breakfast and it was hot. She didn't have to worry about getting up and cooking because she worked at the cafeteria at the school. So they all had to leave at the same time. And the kids could make their breakfast the night before. She didn't have to worry about it because they were old enough to do that. The other fun thing to do with this, especially if you're having a party, if you're doing like an in-home party. Okay, fun story. My first party, I did not mean to have a party, honestly. And I told my daughter, I said, I'm going to come to your house. Your dad wants me to try this and do a party. So I'm going to come to your house. You invite no one. And I will take you out to breakfast and we're good to go. I had bought the kit. I knew everything, but I didn't want to do it. Let me check. Don't go away. They were right, 2 minutes. So I went to her house that Saturday morning. Well, her dad knew me and he knew her, and he had given her $20 to invite friends. So she had invited her high school friends and their mothers and said, we're having a mom and daughter party. My mom's selling Tupperware. I got to that party and did not know how to use one thing in the kit except the breakfast maker. That was the only thing I knew how to use. We spent 2 hours making everybody omelets in the breakfast maker. It was a $500 party. I booked 3 parties and I'm still talking to my daughter, but there was a moment, okay? But it actually, I found out I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. But it does amazing things. So if you have a lot of people, you can actually I had one breakfast maker and like 9 people. So we just kept making omelets. All right, let's see how this works. We're all gonna be surprised because I've never made one in the breakfast maker before, but ooh, looks good. All right, it says to let it sit a minute and then we're gonna flip it over. So, all of you that are amused by the fact that I didn't know how to do a party. I mean, it just was what it was. So, there were things happening there, and then I just wanted the kit. I honestly just wanted the kit. And then I found out that it was worth so much more than just the money I had put in the kit. Yeah, that's good. Because that was almost 14 years ago, and I made friends I didn't know I wanted. I learned how to cook things I didn't know I wanted to know how to cook. They might be saying it. All right. It's kind of hot still. We're going to see how this goes. All right, hang on. If this is not perfect, we'll keep working on it on our own until we perfect it, right? Yeah! That's great. See, if those 2 little cherries were right there where they belong, it would be beautiful. So, this is how it works, but work on your breakfast maker. Right there. Friends I didn't know I wanted. So, okay, but it's the breakfast maker, and you can get 2 with a qualified recruit, and your recruit can get 2, and you can do all the things. And also, there's a ton of recipes out there for the breakfast maker. So make sure you get yours and start practicing. and make friends. It's fun. It's fun. They're a good time.